Hi guys, Shema Polot here. This week I want to share 5 tips that I use in Google Docs that absolutely change the game for me when I'm doing my work. So if you're like me, you either use Microsoft Word or Google Docs for your word pressing needs, just typing up any documents. But of course, Microsoft Word isn't always free, but Google Docs, absolutely free because Google has the hookup for us, okay? But let me show you 5 tips in Google Docs that are fantastic. Not exhaustive because it's massive and there's a lot we could share, but these 5 you'll use today. Let's get into it. So the first thing is that the shortcut to create a Google document, if you're using your laptop and your browser that you're logged into and you're logged into your Google, you just type doc.new and Google will automatically open a new Word document, okay? First tip, doc.new, shortcut to open a work. The same applies for a new Google Sheet, sheet.new, a new Google Slide, slide.new, a new Google Form, form.new, and so on and so forth. It's fantastic. All right. So the first tip is what Google calls building blocks. Okay. So, and you see, you may have seen this already. Type @ to insert, and what that means is that when you type the @ sign, you can create anything that you want to create. Now, how do I use this? I use this in mainly 3 cases. The first case is you're about to have a meeting that you scheduled in your calendar, and you want to take notes. If you do the @ and building blocks meeting notes, Google will bring you all the meetings that you have that you're looking forward to, and you can just pick one, and once you pick it, Google will create this for you automatically, so you can have the attendees of the meeting, and you can put the notes here, and then you can put action items right there. Fantastic, isn't it? Okay, so that's one. It's going to undo. The next thing I use it for is to create a table, to insert a table. You just type table, and then you can decide what kind of table to create, what size, and then bam, table. Okay, so this is of course faster than going to insert and then table and then doing that. Okay, that's why building blocks are really useful. The third way that I use them is for headings. When I want to type something, because I use headings, right? So heading 1, and then I can create, right, like that, because it's good to use headings, because from headings then you can get a document outline, as you can see nicely there, and then you can navigate to the different sections in your article a lot faster. So always use headings if you can, right? So of course it's going to undo that. The original way to use headings is to type something. Wait, I need to remove this heading first. Normal text. The only way to use headings is to type something and then select it and then go here and assign the heading to it. Okay, that's how you do that. When you assign headings, are a precursor to a table of contents. So when you're creating a document, add headings to all the different sections, then you can create a table of contents that appears there automatically. This works exceptionally well in Microsoft Word. Google Docs, it works okay. Okay. Also, bolding sections in Google Docs tends to make it create an outline, which you can still navigate through automatically, but it doesn't always capture it as well as it does if you assign actual headings. So use headings. Okay, so that's done. The next thing that I want to show you that's relatively new in Google Docs is here in the document outline, here in this corner. You can now add summaries to a document, which is useful if you're collaborating on a document, and then when someone comes into the document for the first time. So if I write, use this to save your life. Okay, so if I go inside my Google Drive, and I haven't named this. Let me name this. Okay, if I go inside my Google Drive, let me just refresh this. Wait, I just accidentally moved something. There we go. So, okay. So in my Google Drive, if I go down to YouTube, which is the article that I'm creating right now, okay, then if you want to preview it, right, and preview is P, right, and right now it's empty. But so you can have a way for you to sort of look at the article at a glance. And so here in the details, you see this, it says use this to save your life right there. So I do that by just pressing I, So it's one of those many shortcuts in Google Drive, but I move around with the cursor, then I press I and it brings the details of the document. And inside details, the summary is right there, which tells you what the document is about, basically. Okay, so that is 2. That is the second thing that I want to show you. Okay, so building blocks, summaries. The next thing that I want to show you is substitutions, so text substitution. So you know on your phone how you can create shortcuts that populate to a whole word, for example, OMW to on my way, ILY to I love you. So you can do the same thing in Google Docs. And so you just have to go to tools, then from tools you go down to preferences, and then ignore general and you go to substitutions. And then here Google Docs has a bunch of default ones. And as you can see there, there's replace and then with. So this is what that looks like. So you can add your own physically, right, by typing inside this first box, okay? But I'm just going to use ASAP here. So when you type ASAP and hit enter, as soon as possible, populate. So think about whatever makes sense to you in your work and what words, what phrases you type frequently, and then create a shortcut for it. So it saves you milliseconds because time is so precious, and I'm not just teaching you this for trivial reasons. But yeah, so that's the third one. The fourth one, which is absolutely essential, is version history. Okay, it's the most beautiful thing about Google Docs. It's really what separates it from Microsoft Word, because yes, you can save Word documents and put them wherever on your laptop, but in Google Docs you can save version histories and you can actually label them. You see here, if you go to File and then Version History, it asks you to either name the current version or see version history. So then when I click see version history, it will show me, of course I've been just deleting everything, so this doesn't make a lot of sense. But if I go to, let me pick a document that I've been working on, click that, click O to open it. Okay, so here is a document I've been working on, and so I go to File and I go to Version History. Okay, and I see version history, and so it has all these different versions. Okay, and if you click on any one of them, Google will show you all the edits that have been made, as you can see there. And now the reason why I always recommend that you should label the different versions is because you can know exactly what point in time to go back to. Okay, so for example, now I'm going to name this current version final and click OK. And so now when I go to version history and I go to see version history, let me pick one that's way down here, and then I click restore this version. And there you go. So now we're back to this. So in case someone made a bunch of edits that you didn't like, you can go all the way back to that specific point in time. And if I want to go back, because this is definitely not what I want, I go to version history, I go to see version history, and I go back to final, and I restore this version, and I click restore, and we are back where we started. There you have it. So building blocks, summary, substitutions, version history. I think I said 5 things, I really meant 4 things. But yeah, so with those 4 tips, your Google Docs experience is guaranteed to be a lot better and a lot faster. But yeah, let's stop there for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I also do a complimentary blog article on this, so I'll link that in the description below so you can follow through. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.